Hey fam, welcome back. So we're gonna be doing the look. You've probably already seen the thumbnail. I'm just gonna jump straight into it. It's basically just a crease liner look with a little bit of a winged out wing, okay? So I'm mainly gonna be doing the eye look, the eye makeup, and a bit of the lips in this video, alright? So getting into it, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows using the Benefit KaBrow Gel. I'm gonna put the specific number in the description box down below. And the brush I'm using here is the Inglots 31T brush. It doesn't come with a spoolie. I basically ripped off a spoolie from another brush and just attach it to it, you know. Frankenstein it out, okay? So now I'm gonna go ahead and clean my brows using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the shade Hazelnut. Hazelnut is very close to my skin tone, so I wanted to use it so that way I don't have too much of a highlighted brow. I just wanted it to look very natural, so that way, like, by the time I'm done, it will still match my my face a lot more, because this look is gonna have an open space in between. And the brush I'm using here is the Real Techniques Pointed Foundation brush, and look at that, it just flushes the concealer itself, just flushes or makes the top of my brow look better. I don't know what I was gonna say there. And this is me looking a little bit impressed. I'm just dabbing a little bit more of the concealer on my lid and blending it out with a sponge, and then I also went ahead and I set it with a powder, which is a mistake, and we're gonna get to that in a second, okay? So I'm using the Flower Beauty eyeliner. It's a brown liner, which I really love. I actually didn't think I was gonna love it this much. I'm basically using this to draw a line just a little bit above my crease, so that way my eyes is a bit lifted. So I'm basically just drawing it. I'm gonna draw it from the inner corner to the outer corner, and I'm going to wing it upward at the outer corner in a way that kind of meets the kind of aligns with the tail of my brow. And this is me bringing it inward, not too curved downward, just like draw a line in the crease, but in my case, because of my eye shape, a little bit above my crease, so that way my eyes can look bigger. And this is me looking impressed, you know. And look at that transition. Who do you think you are? Hey, Milo, you're making noise. Thank you. So now I'm going in with the Morphe brush. I'm going to put the number down below. It's a smudger brush, but you know me, I use any brush for anything. As long as it works, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and just blend the liner a little bit, mainly focusing on blending it downward rather than upward, because it's easier to clean up the line below than it is above, if that makes any sense. So I'm just cleaning it downward so that way it doesn't look too crisp, you know, especially in the middle of that line. But I'm still gonna go ahead and tidy it up with a concealer in a little bit. So as I said, here I am tidying up with a concealer, and as I mentioned earlier, I said it with a powder, which was a big mistake. So I actually did end up cleaning off the concealer from my lid. Actually, looking back at it, it wasn't that big of a mistake. I actually didn't need to clean off the concealer, which I did after this clip that I did show, but I didn't show it. But you know what happens, like when you're having a henna battle with the voice in your head, and the voice ends up winning, you know, especially at a moment of weakness. It happens, you know, especially me, almost on daily, you know. Anyway, here I'm just tidying things up, right? As I said, I did rub this off after this clip, and here it is, looking better. Applied a little bit more concealer, and I'm dabbing it in, and actually I switched to the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter concealer. So to set that concealer down in that space, I'm using the Dermablend Loose Setting Powder in the shade Warm Saffron. I love this powder. You know I love this powder. I want Dermablend to sponsor me. and I'm dabbing it in or tapping it in using the Real Techniques Pointed Foundation brush. Do they still sell this brush? I'm actually quite curious. I've had this brush for a long time. I don't even know if it was the real one even. Anyway, I'm just making sure I set that concealer into place, you know. So now going into the lower lash line, to my lash line, I'm using that Flower Beauty liner again, and I'm just basically drawing a little bit of a wing, and I'm gonna smoke it a little bit upward, just basically like that fox smoke wing eye look we've all been doing, but just a little bit simpler. And I'm only depositing a little bit of the eyeliner just as a base. I'm gonna go ahead and smudge it out with that same Morphe smudger brush, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use a brown shadow in the Brown Melanin Makeup Melanin Fantasy eyeshadow palette. It's called Sweet Brown. It's basically a brown matte shade, this one right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and use that same brush to apply it on top of that liner, wing it up a little bit and feather it upwards enough to still show through my lash and also elongate the style of my eyelash, of my falsies that I'm going to use, which you're going to see in a second. So this is me placing the lash to see if that liner is enough, and I'm like, yep, that's enough. Look at me looking impressed. So now I'm just going back using that brush and that matte brown shade that I use in the wing. I'm just using it to set that eyeliner, you know, so that way it looks extra pigmented and more long lasting as well, you know. Yeah. Look at me looking impressed. I'm so impressed with myself, honestly. All right, so I'm now gonna go into the inner corner. I'm picking up the shade, the matte orange shade. It's called Oya. Is that the Oya shade? I don't even remember. I'm basically putting this in my inner corner, and I'm actually going to change my mind later on and top it up with a bit of a yellow shade in the palette, because I felt like it needed a bit of yellow, but then eventually I just mixed them both. I think I might have felt like this because of the jumper that I was wearing, you know. Once again, the inner voice, the battle with the voice inside my head, you know. Sometimes it just wins, you know. At least I didn't wipe off the makeup, which happens a lot of the time, okay? Look at me impressed again. Transition, look at that, baby. Look at the inner corner, just fiery. Beautiful. I'm so stupid. Honestly, I can't. Oh, goodness. And this is me scratching the outer of my nose and sniffing. Anyway, now I'm going to go ahead and put on lashes. Whoo! Lashes are on. Yes, look at that transition. Okay, this is me just topping up that inner corner with that yellow, matte yellow shade, as I said. And you know what? It looks so much better with the yellow shade. But I don't know why. I still went ahead and I topped it up a little bit with the orange shade off camera. I just kept playing with it. This is what happens every time I do an eye look. I'm always fiddly with it, thinking it's not right and whatnot. But then when I'm editing, I'm like, wait a minute. It's actually not bad. Alright, so after this clip, I'm going to go ahead and do my base. And the foundation that I use is the Revolution Conceal & Glow foundation, which is actually in the other foundation test video, so I didn't show it here, and it was very great, okay? So I basically contoured with the Revolution Concentrified Focus Foundation in shade F17 and concealed with the shade F13.5. And I went ahead and I set it with a little bit of powder, which is going to be down below. And then I went ahead and I, you know, set my contour using the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette, using the contour shade, and set that a little bit, and set all over my face a little bit with the Laura Mercier Translucent Deep Powder. I also use the highlighter in the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette as well. Alright, we're back with the lower lash line, you know, back with a full base done. I'm going back into that matte brown shade called Sweet Brown and the Brown Melanin Makeup Melanin Fantasy Eyeshadow Palette. And I'm using that same Morphe brush. You notice we mainly used one brush for the specific eye look today, you know. And I'm basically smudging that shade in my lower lash line and make sure I kind of get right in there and also into the inner corner. I'm also going to wing it out to the outer corner as well, so that we can make that wing that we did, okay? And boom, look at me looking impressed again. Now for the lips, I'm using the Gerard Cosmetics lip pencil in the shade, I think it's Night Shift. I'm going to put the name down below. And I actually went ahead and I topped it up a bit with the Fenty Beauty Match Stix in the shade Espresso, just to have that ombre when it comes to the liner, you know, like I wanted brown to meet a little bit of purple, and it did look really nice. I liked it. And then I topped it up using the Fenty Beauty Concealer as my lipstick. Yes, you heard that right. Listen, my name is Esther, KaBrow. I do things the way I want. If it works, it works. I just go ahead and do it. Experiment and enjoy yourself, okay? So this is me doing it here, trying not to cross-contaminate. And I'm also going to go ahead and set it with the Laura Mercier Honey Translucent Powder, which you're going to see in a second, okay? And we are done, all right? Let me let my voice take you away in this outro, which I already recorded when I did this video, okay? Voiceover out. And boom, we are done. I do like the way this look came out. I've always wanted to do kind of like a liner in the crease kind of look, just very simple. And that smoky look that's been trending that we've all been doing here, but I kind of did it in a very, very simpler way, you know? So yeah, me like it. I did this while I was doing a foundation test, so I kind of like did 2 videos in one. So I really hope I'm gonna edit this all right. I hope you enjoyed the video. The same thing, so I'm watching FamBam, and yes, I just realized I'm still wearing the same top in both videos, but that's okay, honestly. Tired. Okay, thanks for watching. As I said, okay, if you're new to this channel, if you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe down below, turn notification as well, so that there was no miss out any single video from me. Okay, thanks for watching. As always, we'll to love yourself, and by God's grace I pray I see you in my very next video. Bye.